So if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, really, you probably already know that I'm really not that into Pokemon. It's not something that I played as a kid. My little brother played a bunch of it, and I think I stole maybe one of his Game Boys at one point and tried to play one of the old ones. I don't even remember which one it is. I think it was yellow, but I didn't care about Pokemon at the time. Now, since the Switch has been released, I've tried the Pokemon games that have come out on the Switch. Let's Go, I actually really enjoyed. Sword and Shield, I got Shield, I played it, you know, it's whatever. I made a whole video on it, it's really old. You can go back and watch that if you want. But I knew with the 25th anniversary coming up that the Pokemon Company was gonna show us something interesting at least. Lots of rumors out there, lots of speculation. And then we finally got the Pokemon Presents, which is not a direct, which whatever. So we got that, and there were three main things that I took away from that. Two of them I really, really liked. One of them, it's whatever. The two things that I'm interested in from this presentation, you probably already know. I probably don't even need to be making this video, but I want to talk about it because I am very, very excited for both of these, really. But that is what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about why I'm just a huge Pokemon fan now, I guess. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first time. If you're new here, do me a favor, click the link to our Discord in the description. We'll see you in there after this video. And yes, I'm late talking about the Pokemon presentation, I know, but yesterday when that was going on, I had other things to deal with, which was that. I had to get that in here. As you probably already noticed, we have a new addition to the studio, and I'm gonna be talking about that in a later video, not this one, but I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to check these arcade cabinets out. They are amazing. So that's for another video, but I do want to talk about this Pokemon stuff because there were two big things, as I said in this presentation, that really caught my eye. And we'll start with the one, I guess, that didn't. As I pretty much just told you guys, you know, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I didn't grow up with it, so it wasn't a big deal to me, but the Diamond and Pearl remakes, to me, they're fine. I'm sure the people who have been wanting these remakes are super happy. Well, maybe. I don't know if it's quite the art style they were hoping for or the look that they wanted, but it is very faithful to the original games. The overworld part, anyway, I don't know. That one's probably not gonna be one I played, to be honest. It doesn't really look like something that I'm gonna be all that interested in. And I don't think there was any confirmation one way or the other, but it looked to me like there were no Pokemon visible in the grass either. So it's gonna be random encounters, random battles. I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can do that. So that one's probably not gonna be one that I'm playing, which is fine. It's totally fine. All the people who wanted those remakes, I'm super glad that they got them. But for me, this is not something I'm gonna be interested in. Okay, the one that obviously you guys already know that I'm excited about is Pokemon Snap. And we got another look at it, and man, this game just looks so good. And I'm actually pretty excited for the photo mode too. I mean, I guess the whole game is a photo mode, but I guess what I mean to say is the photo editor. So you're actually gonna be able to do things with your photos, like change the depth of field. You're gonna be able to do a lot of stuff, I guess, with the coloring and put things on them. And there's gonna be a place online where you can actually share these games. So that's very cool. I'm very excited to see that they're taking a lot of time, it looks like, to put everything that you really could put in a game like this in it. Now, I haven't talked about this game until I did the original trailer breakdown, which seems like forever ago now. But a couple questions I did have then was what types of levels we'd be getting. Would we be able to go underwater? And it looks like from this trailer, yeah, we're going underwater. You can throw things at Pokemon to make them glow. There's so many things in this game. I'm ready. I am so ready for this game. And as a photographer, like I said, there's little things they put in there, like being able to go and edit the photo afterwards and change the depth of field and stuff like that. Like, that's a big deal to me. It probably won't be a huge deal to everyone, but to me, I'm really excited to see what that looks like. I'm going to probably imagine that my Instagram feed will just turn into pictures that I've taken in Pokemon Snap. I don't know, maybe not. But either way, that's probably a game that I'm gonna be streaming from start to finish, and maybe even more than that, just depending on how much content's actually there. I'm really excited for that game, and it seems like something that would be fun to do on stream. Which, if you are new here, we do stream on this channel every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes on Saturday. So if that is something that you're into, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss those. Anyway, back to what we're talking about here. The main thing that I wanna discuss in this video is obviously Pokemon Breath of the Wild. I mean, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Okay, this is exactly what I hoped for when I heard we were getting open areas in Sword and Shield. This is what I was hoping for. This is why I got so interested in those games, because I was hoping for something like this. This is an actual open world Pokemon game. I mean, it looks like Breath of the Wild. It looks a ton like Breath of the Wild. And obviously, you know, Zelda fan, not gonna complain about that. I think that's great. If that's what they need to do to move the Pokemon franchise in a new direction and, you know, just update it really and just get out of that same Pokemon formula. And you know, it's not bad, it's fine, especially for the people who, you know, who love Pokemon, who've grown up with it. For me, it's just a little dated. I just wanted to see something new. I want to get involved in this franchise. I want to know more about it. I just can't go back and do the same game however many times to do that. It's actually kind of crazy how many things in this game already just look exactly like Breath of the Wild. So what you're doing here is you're going out and creating the first Pokedex in this region, which that is absolutely amazing. So you are literally going out hunting for Pokemon in an open world. This is going to be so much fun. And they didn't show a whole lot, and we'll talk about what they showed in a second, but the world itself, again, I can't get away from it because it's really hard to get away from it because it looks exactly like Breath of the Wild. Even some of the camera angles they used, obviously I'm sure you guys know, you've seen it. Some of the camera, like the panning shot from the back, like that's from Breath of the Wild. That's from the first trailer. But I mean, it looks really good. They showed a few scenes where your character's kind of running out and jumping into the grass and rolling and like kneeling down and hiding and throwing a Pokeball from there to catch, like, that is amazing. A lot more of the real-time stuff, and it seems like when you go into battles, it's gonna be a little bit more real-time as well. I mean, I'm sure it's still gonna be maybe turn-based for the actual battle, but the battles are taking place right where they happen. You know, you're not going into some weird screen that's, you know, just kind of based off the area you're in. They're happening right there, which is just amazing. Long overdue in my opinion. This is what should have been in Sword and Shield, and I want to touch on that really quick too before we go further with this. The other two games that I brought up in this video are not being made by Game Freak, and I think that is another reason why we are seeing, you know, maybe something a little bit further from them. They're not the ones doing the remake. They're not the ones doing Snap, which I think is good. They did do Let's Go and they did Sword and Shield, and I think that may have just kind of spread them a little thin. I think handing some of this stuff off to other people is going to make the games like this, obviously, way better. It's gonna give them more time to work on these games and make them what they need to be, not what Sword and Shield was, which I know a lot of people loved, and that's fine. I had some issues with it. I just thought it was a little bit lazy in some places, especially making the jump from 3DS to Switch. I just felt like they could have done more, and I think this is it. So a few things I do want to touch on quickly with the gameplay. You have to remember, this is a 2022 game. So there's time to change things, to, you know, to make things work better, and by then, we may have a Switch Pro, so they may have some more power to work with there anyway. But a lot of people did point out that there were some issues with like the Pokemon themselves looking kind of strange when they're moving. Very low frame rates on those, and I want to talk about that. But if that is an issue now, I think it's easily fixed with a little more power, a little more development. We have time, so I'm not really that concerned about that, but I wanted to bring something up because I watched those back. I looked at the way those Pokemon were moving, and it almost looks, now, I'm not saying this is definitely happening, but some of that looked intentional. Like, I know that sounds weird, and I know in gaming, that's not the type of thing you normally see, but I want to bring up a movie. Some of you probably haven't seen it, but Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The way that those Pokemon were moving, as soon as I saw it, that is exactly what I thought of. The animation, not really the art style, but just the way that the characters move in that movie. It's a very low frame rate. I don't know if it's 24. I know it's obviously not 30. It's not 60. It may be lower than 24. I'm not really sure how they achieve that. I need to look that up. That's actually very interesting. Anyway, when I saw that, that's exactly what I thought. And I kind of liked it, to be honest. They could still clean it up a little bit, but if they do keep that type of a style, where it is kind of a lower frame rate on purpose. Now, I know a lot of people aren't gonna be okay with that, and I'm probably wrong on this, so I wouldn't worry too much. But if they did do something like that, kept the frame rate low on purpose, made it into the art style, made it go with what they're doing in this game, if you don't have to worry about frame rate, that does open up a lot of possibilities for other things you could put into the game. You know, if you're not trying to hit 60 or 30 even, if your frame rate is intentionally low for an art style, you start to get some wiggle room for other things. Again, I'm not a developer, but I do know a little bit, and I know, you know, if you're trying to hit 60 frames per second, depending on the power, you're probably not gonna get 4K. There's gotta be trade-offs here and there. So that's something I was just thinking about. Probably not really what's going on here. They'll probably clean all that up and it'll look way better. But me personally, I'd be okay with that type of art style. I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. I loved the way it looked. I loved how they did everything in that movie. And again, this, when I saw it the first time, really reminded me of that. So I do want to know in the comments, what do you guys think about that? Would you be okay with something like that if they lowered the frame rate on purpose and then made the world huge, you know, Breath of the Wild huge, but maybe they could take some of that extra power that they weren't using to keep the frame rate up and do something else. Would you be okay with that? And what could they do? What would be that thing that they could do that would make it worth the trade-off, I guess? But then I guess it wouldn't really be a trade-off because that's the point. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. I just wanted to talk to you guys about this stuff because I'm very, very excited. I've been pumped about Snap, obviously. Can't wait for that. And it's coming out next month, which is great. I really cannot wait to get my hands on that. But this Legends game has so much potential to be something massive, something huge, something that would take Pokemon to a completely different level. And that's what I kind of hoped for, as I said, with Sword and Shield, and we just never got. It sounds like Game Freak is listening. It sounds like they want to do, you know, what kind of fans have been asking for, which is this open world style, this next evolution of the Pokemon franchise. And now I know it's not a mainline game, but this is a start, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really excited to see more about this game. When we will see more, that's a great question. I have absolutely no idea. E3 seems like a good time to show more of this game. If it's 2022, early 2022, yeah. Around that time would probably be a good time to, you know, give us a little bit more information on it. Let us see, you know, more of the game. I am interested in this whole art style and frame rate thing though. I know I'm probably dead wrong, but I really do think that would be cool. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. I can say for sure, I have never been this excited about anything to do with Pokemon ever. Well, I was pretty excited for the Pokemon Switch Lite. I was pretty excited for that, but I think I'm more excited for this. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, make sure you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.